मैं इतनी मेकअप में लगी कैंसिल कर दो इसको
लाइव है यार।
अच्छा 1 मिनट ओके आर वी लाइव हिरम वी आर लाइव
Okay, yeah. Ready?
या
Now, would you like me to start with the introductions?
या
Okay. Hi, Assalamu alaikum. I'm Iram. I am Humaira's friend, and I have volunteered today to host this session. Welcome, Humaira, to this session. Our topic today is do you struggle to ask for help? I think this is a very important topic, and Humaira and I would like to discuss about this. Over to you, Humaira.
Thank you, Iram, for being here. And this is a very interesting topic that both of us can relate with, and I'm sure that the audience would enjoy the discussion as well.
Yeah, so let's get started. There will be some difficult questions, but I'm going to start like this: is what holds you back from asking for help? What stops you from asking for help?
That's a wonderful question, Iram. Especially in cultures where you tend to have association of help with some kind of uncomfortable emotions like shame or guilt, wherein if you ask for help, it is people think that you are not good enough, that you cannot do on your own. So one reason can this can create emotions of shame that can hold you back from asking from help. And then secondly, important thing, especially in the early years of your life when you are constantly appreciated for doing things on your own, or compared to someone who does things on his or her own, it creates this benchmark that if you do things on your own, it means that doing things on your own is is more it's it's appreciated. So in a way, the society by this kind of comparison, wherein a person is appreciated for doing things alone or on their own, you are reinforcing the individual to do things on his or her own, because if seeking help is associated with shame, guilt, or not doing enough, a person resists or holds back in asking for help.
Yeah, I can relate to this. That asking for help is regarded as a weakness, and that you are regarded as a incomplete person, and that you are not capable of doing this on your own. Because see, as a human being, we have different abilities and capabilities. Maybe one person can do it really in a task in a few minutes, whereas the same task you and I would take an hour or maybe a day, because we think differently and our approaches and attitudes are different towards a certain task. So I feel that this emotion of shame and embarrassment is a major cause when it comes to asking for help. I just wanted to put a little bit, I wanted to highlight the aspect of there's also another thing. When you're not asking for help, you're also sometimes perceived as arrogant. That look, or she's like, as the Urdu word harfan mola, that she can do
Mm,
everything. You know, there's also this part of the society where it's
mm.
like if you're capable of lots of things, that's also considered
I
as
think,
negative.
yeah, it's a very interesting fact that you have highlighted, because see, when we are insecure or we have some fears inside, we wrap them up in a very good presentable way to act as we don't need anyone. So this can give a vibe of arrogance to people around who cannot, who don't have that similar expertise as you, because you have been doing things on your own for for a long time, so you are so expert in it. So it can give you a vibe, but there is some insecurity and fear that you are hiding beneath this good and beautiful wrapping, and that is the fear of rejection. Maybe in your early years you would have asked for help from your caregivers and you did not get the kind of support that you wanted. So this created a block inside you, and that resistance to asking for help. And maybe this happens, so you might not have the memory, it may be in your early years, or even if you have memories or so, it might have created this kind of perception that if you ask for help, you will be rejected, you'll be said no, and you'll be ridiculed. And if sometimes someone helps you and they are boastful of giving help, saying that they are doing a favor on you, so that would create an extra baggage and burden on you for asking for help. So these kind of uncomfortable emotions, these kind of rejections hold you back from that teamwork, or having a support system that can work together and they can help each other, because you have those old perceptions, those old limiting beliefs from your childhood that hold you back from asking for help. So if you, and in a society where people are helping each other or they are working as a team, you are there in ki masjid or harfan mala, or there are so many labels attached to this. Go beneath these labels, or beneath these labels of arrogance or self-sufficient or whatever it is, but beneath there is an insecurity, or there is a kind of fear that that you are hiding.
Yeah, so from our conversation, I think we can agree on this, that certain experiences leads us to have, for example, a fear of rejection and a fear of the fact that how will I be perceived in the society. Now that we know, I would say not all of the causes, but some of the causes or root causes of why this is. How now shall we come to the how? How can we overcome this? I mean, we all have our experiences, and we all have our, at some point in our life, we have been let down by our support systems, or where we were expecting help, it was not offered in the way we would have liked to have it. How can we overcome all these emotional baggages and all these uh, fear to kind of change? Now how can we change ourselves?
Wonderful question, Iram. And this baggage is a very heavy baggage to carry in your adult life, because we are social animals and we need to work together, help to have a healthy support system. So we need to clear this baggage. And in order to clear this baggage, we need to have this um, create new experiences in life. To by that I mean that your brain needs new experiences for new wiring, because the old wiring does not serve you anymore. And the old wiring does not serve you anymore, you need to be fearless, you need to be get out of your comfort zone and come up and ask for help. Obviously, because of your older perceptions and your older experiences, there's this hardwired brain that will always tell you, and that and you will get come across, because of that perception, that perception is so hardwired in you that maybe multiple times later, even when you step out of your comfort zone, you will find that similar kind of experience that would hold you back once again from asking for from help. But that is the barrier that you have to cross and see from a wider horizon, that okay, if I'm not helped 5 out of 10 times, I'm helped five, I'm getting help, they are 50% of time. So that's that's we need to see from a new lens, because the more we see from the old lens, we just tend to create that similar experience because of our thoughts. For so long we have thought that if we'll ask for help, we'll be ridiculed, or we'll be shamed, or we'll be rejected. This, because our thoughts create reality. So the more we are in that negative space, the more negativity we will experience in our surroundings. So we need to break that thought pattern. And once the thought pattern is broken, it comes into your emotions, your actions, everything it takes a U-turn or a new turn. So we need to create new experiences.
Thank you so much, Humaira, for that input and feedback. I'm sure our viewers are enjoying it as well. And now I'm coming to another aspect of health. Now, when I'm coming on now, coming out of our family life and our social circle, at work, asking for help at work. And now, as an individual, you might have an idea, or you might have a plan of how to execute, for example, a project or a task, and you want to delegate some tasks to your other team members. And then there comes a moment, there are obviously in your team some perfectionists as well. And I can include myself. I'll take myself.
Oh, me too.
So I can take myself as an example that sometimes I hesitate to ask for help because sometimes I feel that the idea that I have in my mind will not be executed in the way that I want it to be. That, like, I want this project to go in a certain way and move on in a certain way, and then your expectations are not met, and then you finally are let down. That, forget it, I'm going to do it myself because I want it to happen in that. So can this habit of not asking for help, having this reason, lead to you not being a good team player, and then also you're putting an extra pressure and burden on someone else or on your team members that I wanted to have this project in a certain way, you did it this way. It's very difficult to accept it because sometimes projects just go down the drain then, and they don't go the way you wanted them to be, and then you kind of go through failure and loss and everything. So this is also an aspect, asking for help, and then once you ask for help, it doesn't go the way you want it to be.
Excellent. This is totally relatable for people who find difficult to delegate tasks, because as for years you have been doing things independently, and because of that perfectionist mindset, you have your way of doing things, your way of seeing things, and because you are so excluded from the rest of the people, you cannot relate with their experiences. So you when and especially when you do things for a long time, you become good at it. When you become good at it, obviously you will find difficult delegating that task, because it requires effort to explain things that it's better मैं खुद से ना कर लूँ, मुझे इतना time और energy लगानी पड़े समझाने में. I'm so good at it, why not I do myself? But the thing is that how many more times you can do it yourself? A time will come when you'll get burnt out, or or the other disadvantage is that you will become slow. इसमें तो आप fast हो जाएंगे because you know how to do it, but there are so many other things that you could discover, or you could take newer projects, but because of lack of time, as human capacity, we have only 24 hours in the day. So if we are not delegating the task, we are not doing anything new. Then we are just doing repetitive redundant work again and again because we can do it better. Now this perfectionist mindset is the killer, because that's behind not delegating things, because you are so you just look for what's missing or what could be done better. But in this world there is nothing as perfection, because your second effort would be better than the first one. So there is no absolute something there. The environment that we are in now is so agile, because there's so lots of information, there's so lots of things that are coming in. So your old work will always be irrelevant compared to your next work. So no matter how much amount of time or energy or your excellence you put in your work, it the next one technology comes, it's the other supersedes the older one. That's how in fast world we are living. So living in that illusion that your work would be 100% perfect, it's not possible. So and then we need to understand what are the pros and cons of not delegating. First, we are gonna get burnt out. Secondly, we won't be we won't be faster, we won't be doing anything new, so our progress will be slow. Initially delegating it would be slower, but then if we get the cycle going, and we can stop ourselves from resisting ourselves from asking for help, or resist our जो perfection का कीड़ा होता है, you just, if you could resist that and let the cycle going, then we can be faster, we can be more involved in teamwork, and we can work together, because we are on human level we are social animals. Plus, our perceptions are not the only perceptions. We do not have absolute knowledge. So each and every individual has different sets of knowledge and expertise that we cannot have. So if we are not including multiple perceptions in our project or in our work, then we are lacking a certain aspect of knowledge. So the collective intelligence that that I often say is so very important, because absolute knowledge is one person cannot have it. So you are lacking there also. So there are many disadvantages if you are not seeking help.
Thank you so much, Humaira. Yes, coming to the topic of collective intelligence, yes, I think asking for help, will agree with you, would avoid that we have these stagnant minds, because our approach will be the same. Whatever task it is, it will be the same, and because we become then used to it, that task becomes like a habit of ours. So our brain, I think, would be on auto, and there is no, I feel, potential of learning something new when we are doing this. And coming to the topic of collective intelligence, I feel that for every problem, for every situation, it is always better to get this view and advice from everyone. Maybe they would have a better idea, or they look at this problem from a different perspective, which leads to different possibilities of doing a certain task, or solving a problem, or even going through a difficult emotional situation. I would like you to summarize a little bit, maybe the advantages of seeking help, and the benefits, and then the next part would be the disadvantages. I think during our conversation you have mentioned them here and there, but it would be nice if you could give us a kind of a summary.
Before I summarize the advantages and disadvantages, let me tell you why we resist asking for help. In certain cultures, especially ours, uh, we feel comfortable, or we feel good to help others, and it can come from a place of ego. Helping can come from a place of ego, wherein you feel that you are better than someone, that's why you are helping. So you are in a better position. So, and wherein when you ask for help, you consider yourself in a lesser position. So nobody wants to feel that. So when you have this mindset of comparison, wherein asking for help is lower and giving help is higher, and it comes from our traditional belief system, wherein we take things out of context, where in we think that giver is better than taker. We take this knowledge out of context, and when we take this out of context, we become polarized, and we say, okay, so I'm not going to take help, I'm going to give, because giver is better. So this is a polarized thinking. This is a out of context thinking, because as human beings, the healthy system is of give and take. If this give and take is not happening, then there will be blockages. Then that system is not going to work if the give and take is not free flowing. Either there is more of take, and there are some people that they will only take, and they'll be like, we'll just take, we are not there to give. They'll hold back that help,
Mhm.
and people exist. And there are certain people who will just not ask for help. So this is a polarized system wherein the give and take is not free flowing, and there is no harm in this give and take. This is a human trade, and this is this hidden contract. When you give, there's an hidden contract that I'm giving, then I'll take as well. And that's how human societies work. That's how barter system or trade works. This is, even, it we are not the almighty. We are not self-sufficient. So we have to have this system of trade, either material, tangible or intangible. Yeah, either it's kind of a service, or it's kind of a material help or support. This give and take free flowing should be there. Having said so, there is a help that comes from the place of divine love. It comes from unconditional giving, and it should not be mixed with this trade of give and take, which is a healthy system. That is at a spiritual level, wherein you are giving not an expectation to get a return, and that's the trade with the divine. So these are two kinds of trades that are happening, and we need not to be polarized in it, that okay, I'm just going to trade with the divine, or I'm just going to trade with the human beings. Context matters, situations matter. So we need to have both these kinds of trades going for a healthy society to survive, wherein there is trade with human beings and there's trade with the divine. Obviously, the trade of divine is unlimited, the abundance
Yeah.
is unlimited.
Yeah.
It's But you cannot remain stuck at one side saying, no, 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 I'm not going to be part of the human society. You have to be, and that's how things work. Summarizing the benefits and disadvantages, it's the benefit is that you will be healthy. There will be a community, a support system. You'll be a healthy member of the society. You will get time to relax, to rest, because you will get enough time to charge yourself. If you're not doing all the things on your own, you'll be able to delegate your tasks. Then the third advantage would be that you can take newer projects, you can take newer tasks. You won't have to be doing repetitive, redundant work again and again. So these are the benefits of ask seeking for help. And the disadvantages, again would be the progress would be slow. You'll be A time will come when you will be, because you are doing things on your own, you will reach a burnt out stage, and that is wherein your project would remain incomplete, because it's a lot of energy that you are putting on into redundant work or the same kind of stuff. As humans, we have limited energy, we have limited time, so your projects would remain incomplete in the middle, because you are not seeking support. And that's what is so important about asking for help.
Thank you so much, Humaira, for this summary. I hope the viewers are now able to understand uh, how important this topic was for us to discuss and have this conversation. And it has always been enlightening to have a conversation with Humaira, and how she, has points for topics from different angles and from different perspectives, which kind of gives us an idea about how we can change ourselves and how we can overcome a lot of situations and experiences. After all, we're human beings, and we come with our disabilities, capabilities, and it's part of it. But there's always a solution to every problem, I feel. Would you like to add something in the end?
I think that's the summary that we have already talked about. I would say, as you said, all human beings, we all have the potential to grow, to evolve, to clear the blocks that we have, and that's where the human evolution. That's why it's so important.
Thank you for this session, Humaira, and I wish you a nice Sunday then, and I wish our viewers also a nice Sunday. Till the next session. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Allah
thank
Hafiz.
you, Ram.